Hey everyone, welcome again to InfoCafe. This is the second part of Misconceptions You Still Believe series. If you missed the first part, we highly recommend that you check it out in the link above. It also includes some very interesting facts. Today we're about to embark on a myth-busting adventure, tackling another 10 common misconceptions that have persisted for far too long. From ancient history to modern inventions, we're leaving no stone unturned. So buckle up, grab your thinking caps, and get ready to have your mind blown. Let's dive in and debunk some myths. Okay, let's talk about the Trojan horse. While the Trojan War is generally accepted as a real historical event, the existence of the Trojan horse itself is highly debated. A giant wooden horse wheeled into a city as a supposed gift? It sounds more like a tall tale than a tactical maneuver. Historians and archaeologists have yet to find any conclusive evidence to support the horse's existence. Some argue that the horse was a metaphor, perhaps representing a powerful siege engine or even a series of Trojan tricks that led to the city's downfall. So, while the Trojan War might have been real, the Trojan horse itself, it's more likely a product of legend and literary embellishment than historical fact. Let's talk about Christopher Columbus. He's often credited with discovering America, right? Well, not so fast. The truth is, Columbus wasn't even close to being the first to reach the Americas. Indigenous peoples had been living there for thousands of years before his arrival. And let's not forget about Leif Erikson, the Norse explorer who landed in North America around 500 years before Columbus. The idea that Columbus discovered America is a Eurocentric narrative that ignores the rich history and presence of indigenous peoples. All right, let's talk about Nero, the Roman emperor, who's often depicted as a fiddling madman while Rome burned. The Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD was a devastating event, but the truth behind its origin is murky at best. While Roman historians like Tacitus did accuse Nero of orchestrating the fire, these accounts were written decades after the event and were likely influenced by political biases against Nero. So, did Nero fiddle while Rome burned? It's a compelling image, but the evidence suggests it's more likely a dramatic exaggeration. Robin Hood, the legendary outlaw who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. But did he actually exist? Well, the truth is, there's no historical evidence to confirm the existence of a single identifiable Robin Hood. The stories of Robin Hood likely emerged from a combination of real-life figures and popular folklore. During the medieval period in England, there were many outlaws and rebels who fought against oppressive rulers and corrupt officials. These figures, along with tales of woodland spirits and tricksters, likely contributed to the Robin Hood legend we know today. So, while Robin Hood might not have been a real person, his story reflects real social tensions and the enduring human desire for justice and equality. Albert Einstein, the genius who revolutionized our understanding of physics. He's often associated with the atomic bomb, but was he really the one who invented it? The answer is a resounding no. While Einstein's famous equation E equals mc square explained the energy released in a nuclear reaction, he didn't directly participate in the Manhattan Project. Einstein's involvement was more indirect. In 1939, he signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt urging the US to research atomic weapons before Nazi Germany did. However, Einstein was a pacifist and later expressed deep regret for signing the letter. So, while Einstein's work laid the theoretical groundwork for nuclear weapons, he wasn't directly involved in their creation and spent much of his later life advocating for peace. One of the key figures responsible for the invention of the atomic bomb include Julius Robert Oppenheimer, who is often called the father of the atomic bomb due to his role as the scientific director of the Manhattan Project. Grigory Rasputin, the Russian mystic who held sway over the Romanov family. He's often portrayed as a sinister figure, a debauched monk with supernatural powers. But how much of that is true? Rasputin's life and influence have been heavily mythologized, often by his political enemies who sought to discredit him and the Romanov dynasty. While he did cultivate an air of mystery and claim to have healing abilities, there's no evidence to suggest he possessed any supernatural powers. Rasputin's influence stemmed from his perceived ability to alleviate the haemophilia of Alexei, the young heir to the Russian throne. However, his political meddling and scandalous reputation made him a polarizing figure, and he was assassinated in 1916. The Battle of Thermopylae, where 300 Spartans made a heroic last stand against the massive Persian army. It's a story of courage, sacrifice, and epic battles, but did it really happen the way we think it did? The movie 300 might have you believe that it was just the Spartans facing off against the Persians, but that's not entirely accurate. While the Spartans did play a crucial role in the battle, they weren't alone. In reality, there were thousands of other Greek soldiers from various city-states who fought alongside the Spartans at Thermopylae. So, while the Spartans' bravery at Thermopylae is undeniable, it's important to remember that they weren't the only ones who fought and died defending Greece. The Roman Empire, a civilization that spanned centuries and shaped Western civilization. Its fall is often attributed to barbarian invasions, but was it really that simple? The truth is, the Roman Empire's decline was a complex process that unfolded over centuries, influenced by a multitude of factors. While barbarian invasions played a role, they were just one piece of the puzzle. Economic instability, rampant inflation, political corruption, and overexpansion all contributed to the empire's weakening. The fall of the Roman Empire was not a single event, but a gradual decline brought about by a perfect storm of internal and external pressures. Tomatoes, those juicy red orbs that are a staple in cuisines around the world. But did you know that they were once considered poisonous in Europe? It sounds crazy, right? But it's true. When tomatoes were first introduced to Europe from the Americas in the 16th century, they were met with suspicion and fear. People believed that tomatoes were poisonous, partly due to their resemblance to deadly nightshade plants. It took time, but eventually people realized that tomatoes weren't poisonous and were actually quite delicious. Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park, is often credited with inventing the light bulb. But the truth is, the light bulb's development was a collaborative effort with contributions from many inventors. While Edison did develop a commercially successful incandescent light bulb in 1879, he wasn't the first to create a working electric light. Edison's genius lay in his ability to improve upon existing designs and create a practical and affordable light bulb that could be mass-produced. So, while Edison deserves credit for his contributions, it's important to recognize the work of other inventors who paved the way for his success. This was the second part of common misconceptions that people still believe. If you enjoyed this video, we'll explore more misconceptions in future episodes. It's amazing how these myths can persist for so long, isn't it? But that's the power of critical thinking and questioning what we think we know. Remember, knowledge is a journey, not a destination. So stay curious, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring the world with a critical eye. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.